Hi, my name is Sabine Dessources. I am the owner of Lavish Touches Hair and Spa. I am a dual licensed massage therapist, skincare specialist, as well as a spa educator.
Hey, it's Kellen, and today on Diversified Game, I'm giving you some game that can help your body, mind, spirit, and even your, if you need a facial, your beauty, inside and out. Funny how that works out, but Miss Sabine, the queen of massage, is going to give us the game on her beauty business. And it's one that I can vouch for and say that everything is professional, everything is clean, everything is pristine. And even if you make your appointment like 12 minutes beforehand, if she has time, she'll make it happen after coming out of a networking event. That's how I booked mine. So welcome, Queen. How you doing today?
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on. Tell people, who are interested in getting into the career field that you are. How did you get here? Because I know you've been doing it since 2015.
No, 2005.
2005. Well, that
Yes, sir.
Black Miami pages, y'all gonna have to change that. 2005. So she started really when she was in like middle school or maybe elementary. So
No, the Lavish Touches was born 2015, but as a massage therapist, I've been doing it since 2005.
well, then even go back then, like I say, we didn't even know at that age you could do such a thing. But give us the game, because black don't crack if you don't smoke it. So tell us, how did you get involved? Was it your like first business venture out of middle school, out of high school? How did it come about?
Um, I was in college, so um, like you said, black don't crack, but I just turned 41.
Me too. Yeah.
My mom is the inspiration behind me doing massage. She's diabetic, and so I watched her health deteriorate with traditional medicine. And so in the back of my mind, I was always thinking there has to be a better way, because she would experience neuropathy pain in her foot. So from middle school, she's asking us to do foot massages for her or whatever, because of the tingling sensation. So in the back of my mind, while I was going to be a doctor, I was always going to do massage on the side. So when I got to Miami-Dade and I was doing my prerequisites, chemistry really kicked my butt. So I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe not a doctor. I could probably do a nurse, you know? But it's funny because the same chemistry material when I was taking nursing, for whatever reason, I was doing so well. But they did have an alternative medicine course um, as one of the um, prerequisites. So when I took the prerequisites and I was learning about the different modalities, massage was one that was highlighted. And so I did my research with massage, went to school. At the time, National School of Technology, which is Everest now, it was like $10,000 to attend. In other schools, it was a little more than that. So I was working on campus with the student life department, and there was an opportunity to do a presentation for high school students. And so the new student center director, Magda at the time, was interviewing me about my career path and my decision. And I mentioned massage, and I told her, look, I really want to do this. But it's expensive too. And just coincidentally, um, Miami-Dade just opened their program in 2003. And so I was the first graduating class 20 years ago, um, come July, um, in the massage program, which is still kicking and running now.
Wow. Well, I could imagine being, young and doing this and trying to figure, even just the business side of it out. There's an extra, probably pressure, not just, being in South Florida, but being a woman, being a Black woman, being a Haitian woman, getting in this business. What unique things do you think, being Black, being Haitian, has it been trying to get in this business? Because you still either have to go get a job and you're probably going to be hired by someone who doesn't look like you, or create your own business like you have now. But give us that journey. Talk about that.
Well, when I started off, I was in different settings. So I started off in the chiropractor's office. From working with the chiropractor, went to the spa. From the spa, went into teaching. And you're correct. Not everybody does look like me. Majority of the people in this industry are Hispanic. And I think it's culturally because they see the value. My culture, my parents, they want us to be doctors, lawyers, um, in those industry sets or whatever. And so I feel like with the Black community, there needs to be more education as to the benefits of massage, the medical side of massage, and how massage is not just a luxury, but it's a necessity. So it's just, I feel like every profession can utilize massage to some degree, and every conditions that people have can benefit from a massage as well. So it's just a matter of um, getting the education out so that people are more aware of the health benefits associated with massage. And then there's also a spiritual side to it, that energy that people be talking about. For me, it's prayer, you know. From the very beginning, I involve God in my services as well. So I've experienced people actually get healed. You know, I'm not the healer. I'm just a point of contact for God to do that healing, you know? So there's different aspects to it. It's 3 dimension.
And then saying that, would you say that most of your clientele, maybe in the beginning, then did not look like you? Since, you know, I have to get massage due to past things that I've done to my body, like, you know, football, bull riding, boxing,
Correct.
you know. So to get your clientele, did they look like you, or were you, you
No,
know,
not at
targeting?
all.
No.
So you know, it's funny you say that. I didn't realize that till you just said it at this moment, that majority of my clientele do look like me now. But in the beginning, it was white, then it transitioned to mostly Hispanics, and now I'm servicing everybody. But I can say it went from 10% of my clientele being looking like me to now 60% of my clientele looks like me.
Okay. And what do you think the shift was, and how did it, you know, shift like that?
For me, I think it's the pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, I'm sure there were health conscious minority Black folks like me in the Black and brown community that, you know, value their massages, value their health care, value, you know, um, their self-care and self-soothing practices, healthy self-soothing practices. But I feel like the pandemic was a blessing in disguise in that it highlighted issues that were already pre-existing that no one paid attention to, which is like mental health, for example. Mental health is real. Stress is real, right? It's like the wind. Um, you see the effects of it, but you don't see it itself. So a lot of people, especially having to be cooped up in their homes, not by their choices, um, wanted an escape. They needed an escape. They wanted an out, you know, and they wanted to be able to um, take ownership for their own health, so that should a pandemic happen again, that they're not in the predicament that they were in at that moment.
It's necesito. It's so much so in the pandemic, when we moved down here, we moved during the pandemic, and my wife bought me one of those fancy Supernova massage chairs because she said, could you please not go out? Just stay home. And, you know, her being in the medical field, I said, oh, okay. So, you know, I can get a massage now every day by a machine, but it's never the same thing. What would you say for, we have a lot of kid athletes. My ladies used to do jujitsu 2 days a week, 2 days of swimming. We're off that now, or taking a break. But what age should somebody maybe start getting massage? Because I've seen like
To be
kids get
honest,
chiropractors at early ages
from from birth.
from
Um,
birth.
while I was in massage school, I had the privilege of interning at the Touch Research Institute, by the guru of touch therapy, Miss Tiffany Fields. So Miss Tiffany Fields, she does a study where she would have high risk pregnancy women, as well as premature babies in the NIC unit. And so, like, you know how they do the placebo where they get two sets of people, they get the same medical treatments. The only thing that differs is that they added massage to their healthcare, right? And so the high risk women who I would massage, their pregnancy was smoother. They had less issues. And then the premature babies, they would leave the NIC unit faster. So her theory is when you're touch deprived, it slows your growth process. So babies who get massage, they're less colicky, they don't cry as much, they're more heavy set for whatever reason. And they track them also to their elementary, middle school, and high school, all the way to their college schools, and they thrive in their academics as well. So it's been, if you look it up, touch therapy, she wrote the book on it. Everyone can use a massage, even the babies. So I would like to do like a class, not for like certification purposes, just for the the lay person like yourself, teaching caregivers from the cradle to the grave how to properly touch their loved ones. So if you are a caregiver caring for an infant, an adolescent child, a teenager, showing you how to appropriately touch them so that they can benefit from massage.
Wow. If the babies need it, it brings me to the fact that, like, when people are deployed, and just think about all the times where people can't touch somebody. And there's some people who don't even have to be deployed. They're hermits in their house, right? Working from home, sometimes 3 computers, and they need to take that break to get some type of touch. And if they don't get that touch? Like, think about inmates who are locked up, 10 years in solitary confinement. They go crazy.
Right.
It's crazy to think. But, you did a lot of training, and I think sometimes people think it's easy to become and quick to become a massage therapist, but it
Not at
takes
all.
some time. Talk about that journey for those who are thinking about it.
So anatomy and physiology is the heart of it. So you need to know the muscles, the bones, from the bones, the attachment points, because when it comes to the origin and the insertion points, the movements that takes place in the body is coming from that attachment. So knowing how to properly assess the body, to know just because you're complaining about your left shoulder, don't mean that that's where it's starting. It's starting from maybe the right side. So it's just listening to the body. So I'm the type of person, when I am caring for someone, I hear what you're saying, and I need to know what areas you think it is, but I also listen to your body, and your body tells me what's really going on.
Mm.
And then also, just to not to cut you off,
No.
when you mentioned about not listening to the body, people need to take time to give back to themselves, because what happens is the body has the ability to heal itself, right? Outside of you, which is why when you cut yourself, you get a scab, and eventually a scar, maybe if it's not properly healed, right? But the body has the ability to heal itself. And so what happens is, when you don't give yourself a break, it will shut down on you. And when it shuts down, you don't know when you're going to recuperate it again, which is why it's better for you to give it a break versus the body giving you a break.
And, with the science behind it, can you talk about, maybe even the dangers? I've heard stories of, bootleg bathroom, chiropractors to, even certain other shops, massage shops, you might go to something like a Happy Feet or Joy Massage. People say, wow, they hurt me, they cheated me. And I could only assume that can impact a business like yours because you don't have a $25 foot massage package or, a 60 for an hour. So do you have to also educate the audience and say, this is not that, this ain't that, this is something that I've actually studied? You can see the plaques on the wall.
Correct.
But talk about that, trying to, decipher yourself and let people know why you're different and why you're worth the money.
So again, besides the education, we for the massage profession, we have lobbyists lobbying for our profession so that we can get the same credentials that a doctor gets, as well as any allied health professional, because of the education that we receive. So it's not like somebody handed me the degree. I had to literally study and take a board exam. So I'm certified with the state of Florida. I took a national certification in my time. So most people, even with the name masseuse, to say masseuse is an insult because the masseuse is referred, it has a negative connotation as to someone who gives happy endings. And I don't do that. We're professionals. So we lobby to get the name massage therapist because we are allied health professional.
Okay, so that's the difference. I think, wait, you guys run that back, especially those of you who asked me, hey, how was Cartagena and all the chicas? I was with my family. I roll with my chica. But there's people who are flying to places just for what you had mentioned. And it's like, my gosh, what's going on in Sodom and Gomorrah? But that's I did not know you guys lobbied for that name. So anybody who has that title has gone through some studying. That is a great thing to know. You learn something every day. Now, with what you're doing, you're Haitian, so there's always something in the community, some type of community give back. Also, it's my signature question too, but I'm sure there's something that you're doing or that you'd like to do in the future for the community. Talk about it.
So for the future, it's funny you mentioned that. My parents are retired, right? And culturally, we live in beautiful Miami, but they don't go out, right? They just stuck at home. And so watching them, I would like to do like if the city would pay for, how they have adult care and like senior programs.
Mm-hmm.
I would get with the city so that they could, sponsor, but I would love to provide massages for the elderly at no cost to them if the city would sponsor their treatments.
Okay, so you have to look at your local RFPs, and PTAC, SBA, and SCORE can tell you where that money is, because I'm sure there's something for the elderly, and the elderly don't always like to be called the elderly. They just want to be called, grandma. You might start a fight, get chin checked, but for the elders,
Right.
the
The
wiser ones.
seasoned ones.
Yes, the seasoned ones, with more Maggie than we have on their lives, But there's always some money for that type of stuff because we've done it with kids in various states, and whatever they have for kids, they usually have for the seasoned vets. So yeah, PTAC, SCORE, and SBA. Now, you and I are members of the Miami-Dade Chamber, which is the oldest chamber. It is also, and I sit on a board for the South Florida Black Chamber, but I tell everyone Miami-Dade Chamber is my favorite chamber. It's not even that I necessarily get anything financially out of it yet, but it's all about connection. What was your reasoning for joining, you and your sister? If you see her down the street thinking she just won some money because she won a prize, don't just roll up on anyone who has this face. That she has a sister. And what made you guys join? Because people in your profession, I've done this in 6 states. They don't necessarily join chambers like that unless they're like really big and they send somebody. But give us, why? Because I love that you guys, put yourself out there.
So during the pandemic, my sister connected with the chambers. I don't know how she got connected with the chamber, but like every day, literally, they were like they were her lifeline. And I would listen to the conversations that they would have. Like they would always empower her and then give her like strategies for her business and stuff. And so just watching her grow from those conversations, from her thinking she's shy to being who you see now, right? And so I was like, you know what, if they could do this for my sister, then I'll gladly join. So it's because I saw the testament of my sister and her experience with them and how they genuinely were for her. You know how some people that, like, they want you to join their committee or whatever, their organization, but it's just for the numbers, right? After you join, that's it. They gave her technical assistance, especially Mr. Matthew. Like that's her ride or die. Like he literally gave her like an awareness of her back office. And so us not knowing certain things when it comes to business, because we're so used to being hands-on in our field, doing our business, that we weren't focusing on minding our business. So we were in the business, but not overseeing the whole aspect of the business, because there's more to the business than the actual service that we render. There is operations, there's marketing, there's finances, there's the legal side to it. And so through the chamber, we were made aware of other aspects of our business that if we were not in communication with them, we wouldn't have known. So the chamber has allowed us to be at different tables, different venues. We're privileged to get guest speakers come in and tell us different aspects of our business. So we are totally grateful to the Miami-Dade Chamber of Commerce with Mr. Knowles and Matthew and Paris and Gina and the foundation of it.
Yeah, the whole roster, everybody is so nice and genuine, and you can learn something. And the reason why I like it, because I like to look in the mirror and see what the future is going to look like. I think there was a little Snow White like that. Yeah, mirror, mirror on the wall. So it's welcoming. And again, South Florida Black Chamber is welcoming too, because it handles the people mostly in Martin County and some in Palm Beach and whatnot. Tell the people, do you have any plans to do any social media as far as, not testimonials or how-tos, or this is how you can cure this, or maybe a course in that? Because you too, that shyness, it's gonna come out of you. I would have never thought your sister was shy, because she's always the first one to talk when given a chance. She just jump right on there. But it makes sense, because if you got to push yourself, you're gonna be consistent and keep pushing. So anything on social media where we might see you on a TikTok, and if so, what would be your type of content?
So like I mentioned before about the caregivers, so my target market, if I had the target, would be busy working women who are caregivers making 60 to 75,000, who are in the Miramar area, because that's where I'm at right now, and the Cutler Bay area as well. But I definitely want to do a class with the talking about the benefits of massage, how to properly touch your loved ones, paying attention to nonverbal cues that your loved one may share that you're not paying attention to, that tells you that they're in pain, right? Especially if you're caring for a baby or an elderly person, right? Because when an elderly person is not moving, that's not a good sign, because they're in pain. The pain they're in so much pain that they don't want to move, that they're stagnant. It's not that they don't want to move, it's just the pain is keeping them from moving. So I definitely want to do a class on understanding the stress cycle that one goes through, because also remember, stress, you don't see it, but you feel the effects of it. And so the body goes to like a fight or flight response. And just understanding that when you're constantly in that fight or flight response unnecessarily, this is where you're shutting down your body, and then your body will break down on you. So just educating the people through different podcasts. I'm leaning more towards maybe a podcast or YouTube where I'm doing like video education, or maybe see how you just did this interview via Zoom, something like that.
Okay. Well, YouTube now has a podcast arm. You know, only difference is with YouTube's at this point, you'll have to buy your own RSS feed if you want to take it to iTunes or anywhere else. But some people like that because some people like to control everything that they have and it's theirs. And so it's just so many ways. I want you to let the people know where they can find you online and offline. And of course, I will have those links and information in the description for all of you out there. And any last words as well?
Well, what I want to say is take care of yourself, because again, the body has the ability to heal itself, right? And if you are being proactive with your health, your body will thank you later. So again, my name is Sabine Dessources, owner of Lavish Touches Hair and Spa. I like to say that my hands speak for themselves. I let them do the talking. So if you want to experience these hands, you can reach me at 786-227-0614. Best way to contact me. Or you can look me up, Lavish Touches Massage and Skincare. That is my Google page. And then I'm working on the LinkedIn and everything else coming soon.
Okay, the LinkedIn is there. She just has to add a little more information, y'all. But it's there. And you guys have been blessed with the game, and I want you to make sure now you use that game. So you've heard about what can happen with your body if you don't get touch. And also for those of you who want to go into the career field, hopefully this helps you clarify some things up from all the rumors and everything you hear online. You know, it's just a lot online, but this is real game that you can use. So don't be confused. The next best thing for you to do is share this game. It will change somebody's life. Y'all be blessed.
Guys, I'm Kai Gabiam from the Diaspora channel, a lover of Africa. If you love Africa as well and you would love to visit one day or to relocate to Africa, there is a course out there for you. And this course is My First Trip to Africa, a course well put together by a seasoned traveler, Kellen Coleman. This course is designed to prepare you to travel better, which will save you both time and money. And the great news is this course costs only $20, guys. It can't get any better. Go right now and enroll to this course at www.diversifygame.com. Don't miss out.